This is a topic that I have wrestled with for a while, mainly because I didn't know how to approach it. But I think now is as good a time as any to really address exactly what happened over the course of the last, let's say, 10 years with streetwear. Noah isn't a streetwear brand. I'm a little late to the party, but I had to do it. We gotta start there. Brendan Babenzian, co-founder of Noah and ex-Supreme Creative Director, has said it outright. And I feel like this is as good a time as any to talk about this, especially with Noah. Because depending on which side of the culture you sit on, that statement either makes perfect sense or it feels completely delusional. Because here's the thing, Noah sells graphic tees, they do sneaker collabs, they were literally called a streetwear brand in a 2015 Vice article titled that exact same thing. And yet Brendan's been working overtime to reposition Noah as something more elevated, something more thoughtful, ethical, timeless. He once said, this is a quote, "You can do something cool and still be responsible, but that doesn't mean I want to be in the streetwear category." And to be honest, he's not wrong to want that, but the problem isn't just what Noah became, it's what streetwear became. The term streetwear was never clean, admittedly. It was always a euphemism, a lazy container, follow me, for anything vaguely adjacent to skate culture, hip hop, punk, subversion. You weren't allowed to call it like hip hop fashion or skatewear or countercultural or urban, because that sounded too niche, too ethnic, too poor. So the industry softened it, streetwear. And while my journalistic colleague Andrea Tuzio makes the claim that phenomenal designer Willie Smith invented streetwear, she conveniently leaves out the DIY, punk, skate, anti-conformist, anti-corporate, and anti-fashion roots of what we actually come to know as streetwear. And therein lies the problem, or perhaps two. When something comes to life organically, out of shared or even cross-subcultural movements, two things inevitably happen. One, we try to assign distinct origin to it, as with the case with the Willie Smith claim. And two, we then try to commodify it. Both are, in my opinion, incredibly misguided, but admittedly, they're easy to digest, easy to commercialize, easy to co-opt. Because no one for the life of them, not even you, can actually tell you where the term streetwear originates. Stussy certainly doesn't claim it. Even Vision Streetwear isn't a reliable origin point. Which leads us to the likely truth. Marketers made it up. Like clockwork, it became a catch-all, and when something becomes a catch-all, it loses definition, which is exactly what happened. Now, streetwear came from skaters printing their own logos, rappers creating fashion that matched their sound, kids remixing army surplus and used clothing and sportswear into personal armor. It was DIY, it was regional, it was for us, by us, literally and metaphorically. But when streetwear blew up, especially through hip hop, something got left behind, that anti-corporate ethos. The message was, at the time, we don't care what the system says, we'll build our own. But the moment it became lucrative, the system said, great, let us help you scale that. And a lot of people said yes, why wouldn't you? Not because they sold out, but because that's what growth looked like. You don't want to stay stagnant, right? You want to make some money. So now you have a whole bunch of brands with punk, skate, and hip hop DNA running corporate playbooks, and founders who feel uncomfortable about the label that got them there. Which brings us back to Noah, Brendan, and honestly everyone who has ever tried to distance themselves from streetwear. And I respect them, including some of your favorite and most treasured fashion minds out there, some of whom pretty much spearheaded the entire movement. So, what Brendan is really doing isn't surprising, nor is it rejection. It's reclamation. Follow me again. Case in point, 10 years ago, Brendan didn't have to say Noah wasn't a streetwear brand. People knew it was at least in the same ballpark. And if you step into a Noah brick and mortar, it screams grown man who was into something that resembles streetwear, but elevated. In fact, I'd argue Noah was the pre-Aime Leon Dore, setting the stage for an aging demographic that didn't want to grow old into fashion obscurity like the generation before. And that way, Brendan is a visionary. And it's very much part of the reason he doesn't want Noah lumped in with hype machines, influencer culture, and celebrity promotion. He wants out of the chaos, because to him, Noah was never about drops or artificial scarcity. At least I'm assuming, just based on his language. It was about making good things ethically with real purpose. So yeah, he says Noah isn't streetwear, but he's not denying where it started. He's very much aware that he was once the CD of Supreme. He's just trying to rewrite the trajectory. Or if you're being more cynical, he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. But the issue is, you can't do that if the term you're escaping was never defined in the first place, and you never rejected it before. Before we continue, a quick word from our sponsor, Squarespace. If you've been thinking about turning that fashion idea into something real, whether it's a brand, platform, or just a place to build community, Squarespace is where you start. This isn't just a website builder, it's full-on brand building toolkit. You got stunning templates that don't look cookie cutter, built-in e-commerce so you can sell your pieces, members areas to build loyalty, and email campaigns to keep your people in the loop. All of it under one roof. And now with Blueprint AI, it gets even easier. Just answer a few quick questions about your style, your goals, your vibe, and Blueprint builds a custom layout tailored to your brand's identity. Fonts, colors, flow, it's all curated for you. No more blank canvas, no overthinking, just build and launch. So when you're ready to go from idea to execution, head up squarespace.com/thecasual to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Build the brand, build the community, do it all with Squarespace. Anyway, here's the real trap. Because streetwear was never precise, anyone can claim it. High fashion can call their hoodies streetwear. And some people just say, yeah, LV's doing streetwear now. Rapper merch is streetwear. Graphic tees at Target can be streetwear. So when you say we're not streetwear, what do you mean? Do you mean you're not chasing trends? You're not gonna make hoodies anymore? You're not marketing to young people? Because the audience doesn't hear that nuance. They hear,
oh, hell no.
They can even get upset because many of them have taken ownership of the term despite its very likely marketing origins. The term became a culture, not out of DIY, but amazingly out of hustle and entrepreneurship. It became a way to commodify your local, regional culture into something that was scalable, real, and most importantly, lucrative, without selling out to the corporate overlords. No matter how you swing it, streetwear became the subculture gateway to financial freedom if you couldn't go pro from a kickflip or spit a ridiculous 16. But for as long as I've consulted, I've warned brands about this term, how vague it was, and vague is dangerous in business. And here's the kicker. The brands that built streetwear never got to own its evolution. That's serious. The industry moved faster than the culture could protect itself. And now when a brand finally comes along, rewrites the map, clarifies the direction, and more importantly, evolves it proudly, a la Aime Leon Dore, everyone points and goes, ah, that's what it is. Which is what Noah tried to do all along, except they let the narrative spin for too long. For example, I don't even recognize ALD as a streetwear brand, but some people do, and that's the beauty of it. It's different things for different people, but the aesthetic and messaging are clear. It's grown man, it's street, it's refined, crisp, cool, current, timeless, unapologetically NYC, everything Noah is. But Teddy Santis doesn't go out of his way to say what ALD isn't. He says, this is Aime Leon Dore. You decide what it means. In fact, he has never even let the words come out of his mouth that ALD isn't a streetwear brand. He just says the audience decides what it is. I'm just designing the apparatus. And that's powerful. Why? Because ironically, that is the very essence of the classic DIY ethos that birthed streetwear in the first place. I mean, you can't make this up. It's a genius move. Let the audience decide. Seems simple, but some people, I tell you, let's just let people enjoy things. No hate on Brendan. I mean, I think he's brilliant. I think he was way ahead of his time. But if you're building a brand today or trying to reposition, here's the play. 1, define your values early, loudly, visually. Don't wait for the market to label you. Signal with intention. 2, accept the origin story. If you came from streetwear, own it. Refine it, but never disown it. 3, be specific. Don't just say we're not streetwear, say what you are. Say what you're not willing to participate in. 4, focus on function and philosophy. Streetwear had a message. If you're evolving past it, your new message needs to be just as strong. So to answer the question, streetwear isn't dead, it's just confused. It's confused because it never stopped to define itself before the market did. Now, founders like Brendan Babenzian are trying to draw new lines in the sand, trying to rescue what matters from a label that got too big for its own good, the label of streetwear. And honestly, they should. But for the next generation of brands, don't wait until the culture misreads you. Start clear, stay intentional. Always know what you're trying to be before the world decides for you. And now, I want to hear from you. Do you think streetwear is still a relevant category in fashion, or is it losing its, strength as a genre of fashion? Are you still down with it? Are you still down with the culture? Again, do you think it was a marketing term that was used? Do you think it's just undefined? Do you think it's more local, regional? Do you accept that? I tend to think that it's a marketing term used too liberally. Anyway, that's my kind of over explanation of it, but I want to hear from you. What do you think? Let it all be known in the comments. As always, keep it locked right here for all of your info in international fashion culture and business from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu, and I'll see you guys in a minute.